Hello YouTube. In this video I'm going to be discussing The Rock's Black Adam training, and I'm going to explain to you why it's a bad methodology and why you shouldn't be training like this if you want to get big. Let me preface by saying that of course I know that The Rock is not natural, he's on steroids, he's been on steroids for many years, and that plays a role because it is a big reason as to why he trains like this and why it would never apply to you. So the reason why I was inclined to making this video is because I read an article on muscle and fitness, which is already a red flag, and they claimed that he's been known to train similar to a traditional bodybuilding style. And that pisses me off because they're not wrong. He is actually following a type of split that pro bodybuilders, even some people who are at a high level in the sport, do follow. And the problem is that that type of training is promoted to naturals, it's promoted to people who don't know anything about training, and they get no result. And they get no result because the methods are bullshit. So I'm going to explain why they're bullshit so that you can get it and avoid it at all costs in your own training. So what he shared basically was a chest and triceps workout, which is already bad. A chest workout is a body part split, which is the worst type of template to gain muscle. You don't want to train like this. You want to train multiple muscle groups at the same time. Isolating the chest is already not possible because when you train the chest, you also train the triceps and you train the shoulders. So you should have a split that contains more body parts. So that's already something that is going to create issues down the line. And we see that with the way he trains. So basically what he said is, he does a chest circuit. Circuit is already a terminology that I don't like to hear at all because it always means that there's going to be low intensity and a ton of junk volume. And he does 3 circuits of each exercise with no rest. So he's basically doing a giant set, so supersets slapped with each other in a row. And he does machine fly, which they call machine Flye Machine, so I don't know what that is. Chest press, incline press, so an incline press, and a bodyweight dips to failure, which also indicates to me that he doesn't go to failure on the other one, which I'm not surprised with because with the low weight he uses, it's really tough to go to failure on these movements because you can just keep pumping forever, basically. So, a chest exercise followed by another chest exercise followed by another chest exercise. That is not the right way to superset. When you superset, you want to superset antagonist muscle groups. And if you're going to superset 2 muscle groups, it has to be not something that is by design. You have to do it because in the 2 lifts, 2 muscle groups are involved. For example, you do stiff leg deadlifts and you do rows. Okay, your hamstrings and lower back are going to be involved in both. That's pretty terrible, I would say, but it's not the end of the world because you still work different body parts as your main focus. But in this one, the main focus remains the chest. So you're going to do exercises that are supposed to target the chest, damage the muscle fiber, and make it tougher for you to keep going, but you can continue going because you're doing supersets. And why is that even possible? Why is it even something that is going to enter his mind? Well, because he trains with low intensity and therefore he doesn't go to failure. And of course, it's much easier to do multiple exercises in a row when the muscle doesn't go to failure. Problem is, you could replace those 3 exercises by 1. You could pick 1 horizontal press, like the dips, the bench press, or push-ups, do 1 hard set to failure within a low rep range and get the same result, if not better. And you would actually progress. And that's pretty much the main emphasis of this. The problem is that noobs, novices, are going to see The Rock, they're going to see that he's massive, and they're going to think, oh, okay, he trains like this, so I'm going to train like this, and I'm going to get the results. That's not true. He himself is not getting the results because of the training, he's getting the results because of steroids. The training is just a way for him to, I guess, feel better about it, and also maybe a way to pump blood into the muscle, but as a natural, you can pump as much blood you want into that chest. If you don't damage the fibers, it's not gonna grow. You'll get a nice pump, sure, but it's gonna go away and disappear. You won't build mass off of it. So stay away from that type of training. Prefer to do hard sets with a minimum amount of sets and build volume from there. You want to do as little volume as possible to get as much result as possible. And to build onto that very point, let's take a look at what Muscle and Fitness, the grandiose magazine that knows so much about building muscle apparently, has to say about it. Because if you know anything about programming, you take a look at that superset and you think, okay, that's garbage. But what do they say? They say that the rep range wasn't revealed, which is already bad. I mean, you're supposed to know the rep range. You can just say, I'm going to do as many reps as I want today. The rep range shows that you progress over time and you can log it. But they say that he isn't known to perform low reps very often. Low reps build muscle and they also push progression. And also, I'm suspicious. I think that what they mean by low reps here is less than 20. Less than 20 reps is not low reps. Less than 5, 6 is low reps. In another post, he performs an incline machine press for 20 total reps. Going with a rep range of 15 to 20 could be considered a logical choice. How and why? What is that sentence even doing here? What does that mean? They don't explain themselves. And it's because I think they don't know. The Rock doesn't know why he does that rep range, and they don't know. If you do a rep range in your program, I need to be able to point at that rep range and say, hey, why are you doing this here? What is the logic behind you doing that rep range at that very moment? If you can't answer, your program is bad. And then as for the tricep workout, which is even worse than the chest, because the chest is a big enough muscle that you can justify trying to only isolate it, even though it's technically not possible. But the triceps, it's such a tiny muscle. Why are you doing a body part split where you only show up to do triceps? It makes no sense. And I know that some people are going to counter that by saying, well, he's on steroids, they can train differently, they have a different frequency, blah, blah, blah. I don't buy that. I think that the only advantage a body part split has when someone trains their muscle group once a week is that it's easier. It's for the lazy, basically, because it allows you to put in the minimum amount of work to get the maximum amount of results from the drugs. But you would make better gains with a higher volume and higher frequency anyways. So for the tricep portions, he follows the same principles. So he follows the same principles from what is technically a big muscle group and a small muscle group, which shouldn't be trained the same way. He does 3 circuits of the movements, and the movements are push-ups, diamond push-ups, overhead extensions. So that's actually a good combo. See, I'm not going to trash talk this because it's a chest and lateral head of the tricep movement followed up by a long head of the tricep movement. That is actually pretty good. It's a superset that targets the same area but with a different emphasis. So that's okay. But then he does reverse grip push down, okay, so the triceps are already exhausted by that point, and then rope push down. So 2 types of push downs that are going to be pretty much targeting the same area of the triceps. Again, what is the point? Why not just do one of these? The reason is that, and this is going to be my segue into the big topic, the big mentality that I want to shatter because it's a terrible way to think for naturals. This is not a workout done to grow. This is not a workout done to progress. This is a workout done for Instagram. It's something that you can film on Instagram so you have a good pump. You can send it to your publicist and they can make the next big picture so that they can promote the movie you're going to appear in. Because, keep in mind, this is apparently what he's doing to be in shape for his movie, but what he's doing to be in shape with his movie has more to do with chemistry than with efforts and time put in the gym. What he's doing has a very small impact on his physique. And it links directly to Hollywood and all of these movie stars that are self-programmed muscle gurus that apparently know how to gain muscle, but give terrible advice down the line. And they tend to also propagate a lot of bad advice. They create myths that the average person then follows, fails to gain muscle, then they blame their genetics and they give up. And those myths include the lifestyle that they have, that they try to promote and present as the reason why they're buff. So you hear those guys who say, oh, I wake up at 3 a.m. and I train until 6 a.m. Okay, great, but it does absolutely nothing. Waking up during the night to train does nothing. It doesn't make you more muscular, it doesn't boost test production. And on top of that, I don't care if you wake up at 3. If you go to bed at 5 p.m., you still got a full night of sleep. It's just that you exist outside of productive hours. It doesn't make you better. And yet, I know a lot of people who, if you tell them what I just said, they will, first one, they will call you a hater, and 2, they would say, well, okay, but look at their work ethic. Like he works out at 4 a.m. Well, that's not, it means nothing. The time you spend working out, the volume you acquire, the tonnage you accumulate, that's what matters, regardless of the time of the day you do it. So that's one thing. Who cares when you work out? Train whenever, just train. 2 is their diet. It's a meme at this point. I mean, the rice and broccoli and chicken, there's nothing special about rice, broccoli, and chicken. There's no nutrient in these foods that are going to make you blow up. They're just food. And I would also say, and I know that this is blasphemy in the realm of bodybuilding, broccoli is a shit food. A lot of people don't digest it at all. It's not the best vegetable by far for bodybuilding or for any purpose. You can replace it with any veggie. Same for chicken. You can eat turkey instead. I think it tastes much better. For rice, I love rice. But again, rice is a carb. You can eat sweet potatoes instead. You don't have to follow those crazy diets of 6 meals a day. I don't know if even 5% of naturals need 6 meals a day. It's a joke. It's something that they present to look hardcore. And pro bodybuilders are the main culprit of that, of saying, oh, I eat like 12 times a day, like a regimented lifestyle, cool. But for natural, it's not needed. You can have 1 meal a day. You can have 2 meals a day. Doesn't matter. As long as you get the calories and nutrients you need, you're Gucci. So that's something to ignore as well. Don't listen to these people's diet. Don't eat their crazy caloric amounts that they inflate, like the 10,000. They don't eat that much. They don't know how to calculate it. Same for their body fat. They don't know how much they are actually weighing in. They don't know that. So don't let them create a false body image for yourself and push you into unhealthy eating habits, because they themselves have no clue of what they're doing at all. Then for the muscle gains, you hear the 20 pounds of muscle in 2 months, in 3 months. First off, that's not possible. I mean, I don't care how much testosterone you take. 20 pounds is never going to be 20 pounds of muscle. There's a bunch of fat and a bunch of water in there because that's the way muscle works. You don't gain just pure lean mass. You also have fat and water that it just comes with the territory. And so that's already completely unrealistic. And on top of that, yeah, they gain it, but for how long? Like, how long do you think The Rock is going to look like this for this role? I'm going to bet like 1 or 2 weeks. Then he's going to taper down because it's just for that one instant. And again, in bodybuilding, I know that this is pretty much what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to look at your best at one moment in time. But I think that natural bodybuilding is the exact opposite. Natural bodybuilding is looking big and looking jacked all the time. Without conditions or prerequisites, you wake up in the morning, you're buff. You're out of the shower, you're buff. It's the point. I don't want to build muscle if I'm just going to keep it 2 months out of the year. I want to be big all the time. And that's doable. Just don't follow those yo-yo diets and don't take steroids. It's fairly easy. And all of that culminates into the sensationalism that Hollywood propagates everywhere, and the media also, because they're basically touching our practice and turning it to shit. Every single time I hear a big media outlet, even one like Muscle and Fitness, who's supposed to know what they're talking about, speaking about bodybuilding and muscle building, it's always hogwash. They're always misrepresenting the practice and they're hurting natural lifters. You don't have to do the stupid Instagram workout to get big. The pump will get you big momentarily. Proper programming is going to get you big forever. And I'm going to follow that and finish with the fake hardship and the simulation of hardship that I see across the board with these people, where their goal is not to teach you how to train, it's not to give you the best practices, it's to show you how much they suffer, it's to show you how much pain they're in when they do their 50 reps bench press on nonsense, because it's appealing to the novice eye. The novice eye sees that and think, wow, he's really struggling, that's why he's so big. Because they don't think, they don't have what it takes to understand what's really going on when that guy is doing that finisher, that massive pump he's getting, what it truly means. What it truly means is really nothing. It's powder for the eye. It's just a way to create the circus because it looks cool, it looks appealing. And that's how you sell a program, and that's how you sell a movie. Because I guarantee you that, one, there are people who are going to follow The Rock's Black Adam workout thinking they're going to get big. And two, if he somehow decided to sell it, people would buy it, even though it is garbage. I know people that could just scribble a program on a napkin at a restaurant, give you that napkin, you would get better value from that than from this. And yet the packaging is much less sexy when it's done by some scrub that's sitting at a table that looks like it doesn't lift. A lot of that comes from your perception of lifting, and that needs to be shattered entirely. These people have no credentials and they have no ground to speak in reality, because their advice cannot help you get to where they are at all. And so I'm going to end with this. This was a quick review of a Hollywood program and the reason why they all tend to be terrible and why you shouldn't be taking advice from these people. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.